Hello and welcome. In this video I'm going to explain the JavaScript for loop. Let's get started. A JavaScript for loop is a structure that repeats an action until a specified condition evaluates to false. It's referred to as a loop because a loop can be thought of as something that, when it reaches the end, starts again from the beginning. And similarly, with a JavaScript for loop, when execution reaches the end of the action, it starts again from the beginning of the action, and that occurs repeatedly until the condition evaluates to false. The structure of a for loop begins with the word for, then open and closing parenthesis. Between those parentheses, first you have an initialization expression. An initialization expression can contain any valid JavaScript expression and is typically used to initialize a variable. That is terminated by a semicolon. Then you have the condition expression, which accepts any valid JavaScript expression that evaluates to either a true or false Boolean value, or a value that can be casted to true or false, such as a 1 which will be casted to true, or a 0 which will be casted to false. The condition expression is terminated by a semicolon. Then you have the update expression, which can be any valid JavaScript expression and is typically used to update the variable that is initialized in the initialization expression and referenced in the condition expression. Following the closing parenthesis, you have open and closing braces, and the lines between those braces are the body of the for loop. When the engine executes a for loop, firstly it evaluates the initialization expression, then it evaluates the condition expression. If the condition expression evaluates to true, the body of the for loop is executed. Once the end of the body of the for loop is reached, the update expression is evaluated, then the condition expression is evaluated, and if it evaluates to true, the body of the for loop is executed again. That process repeats until the condition expression evaluates to false. It's possible that the condition expression evaluates to false at the very beginning. In that case, the body of the for loop is executed 0 times. Let's look at an example. If you'd like to follow along with a local copy of this project, then click on the link in the description to this video, which will take you to a Bitbucket page, and you can follow the instructions in the README file to set the project up locally. If you're going to do that, then pause the video, set the project up locally, and continue. The project defines a single web page, which we can see here, that displays a list of supercars. So we have a supercar up here, and then we have more down here. Let's look at this web page's index.html file. We can see that within the index.html file there is an empty unordered list element with an ID of car-list, and a JavaScript file named script.js is imported. Let's have a look at the script.js file. We can see here that the contents of a JSON file named cars.json are loaded, and the cars.json file contains an array of objects, with each object having information about a car such as its name, description, top speed, and the path to an image of the car. That array is stored in this cars variable. We can then see that a constant is defined that contains a reference to the unordered list in the web page by targeting its ID, which is car-list. We can then see that there is a for loop. The initialization expression of the for loop initializes a variable named I to a value of 0. Then the condition expression checks that the current value in the I variable is less than the length of the cars array, and the update expression increments the I variable by 1. We can see that the body of the for loop creates a list item containing the information in the object at position I in the cars array. That is, if the I variable contains 0, then it's the object at position 0 in the cars array. If it contains 1, it's the object at position 1 in the cars array, etc. Then the list item that is created here is added as a child of the unordered list element. When the JavaScript engine executes this for loop, first it would initialize a variable named I to a value of 0. Then it will evaluate the condition expression and check if the current value stored in the I variable, which is 0, is less than the length of the cars array, which is 5. 0 is less than 5, which means the condition expression evaluates to true and the body of the for loop is executed. A list item is created containing the information in the object at position 0 in the cars array. Then that list item is added as a child of the unordered list element. Then the update expression is evaluated, which increments the value in the I variable from 0 to 1. And the condition expression is evaluated again. This time I contains 1, so it checks if 1 is less than the length of the cars array, which is 5. 1 is less than 5, so the condition expression evaluates to true and the body of the for loop is executed again. This will continue until the I variable contains 5. At that point, the engine will evaluate the condition expression and check if the value in I, which is 5, is less than the length of the cars array, which is 5. 5 is not less than 5, which means the condition expression evaluates to false and the for loop is terminated. The result is that the 5 elements in the array are used to create a list item containing the information in the object at that position in the array, and is added to the page, which we can see here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 list elements added to the page, and we can see in the cars.json file there is 5 objects in the array, each one containing information about a car. We've reached the end of the video. I hope it's given you a good understanding of JavaScript for loops and you found it useful. If you did, feel free to watch some of my other videos, and until next time, take care.